Can call me Midnight Catch Epicenter again? Let's find out. Hey everyone, it's Vinny. I'm back for the Louisiana Derby preview, and this looks like it's going to be a fun race. Epicenter obviously made the very heavy morning line favorite. If he wins here, he's probably going to be one of the top few choices in the Kentucky Derby. I would imagine right now most people have him very high. If you watch the top 25 video, both the Formula and uh, El Hombre have him as their number one. I know there's other people who do have him highly ranked as well. So a win here would mean he probably goes off one of the top couple betting choices. But let's see if he can do it first. He does have to face eight others here. He's beaten a few of them already, so let's get into it. The number one is Silent Power, and Silent Power stretching out today. Is shipping in from Delta Downs. I feel like he's going to need a heck of a pace scenario to run into to do anything here. He previously he's lost to Kavad in his third ever start, and Kavad is not very good. His last race he ran fourth in a restricted stake, got Delta down. Pace wasn't quick. He did close though, and he was still coming late. So we'll see. He's 50 to 1 on the morning line, and that you're probably going to get more. He might be one of those that sneaks up to that 70 to 80 to 1 range. I can't see him actually getting a fair shot here. So he's a toss for me, but if you like a horse with these kind of odds, don't let me talk you off of him. The number two is Zozos for Brad Cox, and the Brad Cox barn has been pretty cold on the Derby trail so far, but he's been pretty adamant that Zozos is going to get one shot at the Derby, and he's taking it here. He likes to sit off the pace a little bit, which is good that he's not a need the lead type. I feel like a lot of these horses that end up stepping up have never been behind horses before. He has. He absolutely demolished a field at Oaklawn Park last time out. Field wasn't fantastic, but the number came back strong. I think he's a real contender here. I think there's only a couple horses here that actually are going to be able to challenge Epicenter late. And I think he's one of them, especially if he takes a step forward off that 92 buyer last time out. Cox's barn though has just been pretty cold on the Derby trail. He's 8 to 1 morning line. There's no way, in my opinion, we're gonna get 8 to 1. We'll probably get a maybe half of that, maybe a little less. He's probably gonna be second choice in my opinion, by post time. But he does look good, especially with that 92 buyer last time out. Flow Jock's back on him. He does lose Lasix, which I am not a fan of. Them first time off Lasix, especially if they're going to get bet. But we'll see. He is a major player in here, in my opinion. The number three is Call Me Midnight, and the upset winner of the little comp is finally back after skipping the Risen Star. And again, I don't know if he's gonna really get a big pace scenario today, but he proved last time he doesn't really need it. They went pretty slow on the opening quarter last time. It did quicken up, and he was able to just get there over Epicenter. Besides Epicenter, though, that race is not coming back fantastic, but we'll see. You're gonna get a fraction of the price you got that day. He was almost 30 to 1 that day. He's morning line 6 to 1 here. I do think he is a little forgotten about. So I bet we do on the board come race time. So I do think you're going to get every bit of that 6 to 1 on Call Me Midnight. He's been working very good. His works have been solid. I think he's another one. I think he's a player. He already has beaten the favorite once before. Uh, as long as he runs in the top three, he's most likely in the Kentucky Derby with his 10 points he already has from the Lecomte. So 30 points probably is going to get you in this year if he finishes third. So I think he's definitely an exotic. Another time, I'm gonna say he's probably good for underneath. I really can't see him doing this twice in a row. He could. He's not as at this price though. I'm not willing to take it. At third, if he was 30 to 1 again, I'd give him a shot. But I think he's a fair trifecta exacta horse in this field. The number 4 is Curly Tail for Dallas Stewart, and I don't think so. I do love the breeding on him, but took 6 times to break the maiden. Just got it done last time. Figured have improved a little bit as a 3-year-old. Not a huge progression. He's gonna be a bomb, and he's gonna be able to. He sits off, so that's not bad either. So he's not. He's another one that doesn't need the lead. You throw him in the bottom of your exotics if you think he's got a shot. I personally, I think there's a couple others in here that I'm willing to go with over him, but he does make up ground in every race, so he should be okay. He's run the mile in an eighth before, or even though, yeah, a mile. It's about a little over a mile and an eighth at a mile and 3/16 here, so he does have experience going longer. But I don't know. I'm just not a huge fan on this one. He's gonna have to really improve, in my opinion, to really compete here. The number 5 is Kapuna. Yeah, Kapuna. Hope I'm saying that right. I might not be. And last we saw him, he finished second behind Cyberknife in a allowance optional claimer here at Fairgrounds back in February. I believe that was on the undercard of the Risen Star. It might have been a different day. Someone can fact check me on that. And he looked okay. He just kind of plodded along behind the pace. He just never, and then just couldn't catch Cyberknife. Would be cool to see Raylu get a Derby mount. I doubt they would kick Raylu off if this horse does finish well here. He's just really gonna have to improve, in my opinion, to compete here. He's gonna have to sit behind the pace, which is probably going to be Epicenter or Zozos, and he's gonna just have to finish better. He's kind of been like a one pace horse, in my opinion, in his career. So he's definitely gonna have to improve. 8 to 1, I have a feeling you're gonna get double digits on him. He's been working very well though. So he is one that I am interested in using underneath. I don't think he can win. It would be cool if he did win. As a fan, I would like to see him win, but I think the race dynamics are just a little bit against him here. But I do see him finishing strong. So at a price, I'll play him underneath. The number 6 is the favorite, Epicenter. Joel Rosario is back for the third time. And I'm going to guess that this, if as long as he does not run a dud here, this will be Joel Rosario's Derby mount. And he just looks tough. His last 2 races, he's gone to the lead just because he's naturally quick. I know a lot of people say he doesn't need the lead. I would like to see him not need the lead before we get to the Derby. So I do hope somebody else tries to take the early lead and he can sit off and we can really see how good he is at stalking. But if not, he handled the Risen Star field pretty easily last time, and the Risen Star field still is one of the tougher fields we've seen for these Derby preps. I don't think he's going to get caught like he did in the Lecomte. I think he's a major player here. Personally, I can't see really playing against him. He's going to be on my tickets. Probably most of my pick fours will be single to him. I just think he's the best horse here. Rosario keeping them out, I think, says how strong that he thinks this horse is as well. Asmussen doesn't have another one in here, which he's had multiple horses and a few Derby preps this year. Definitely his top one. If as long as he breaks clean, I think he's going to be right there when it matters. So I wouldn't bet against him, but at the short price, if you do, I understand. The number 7 is Pioneer of Medina for Todd Pletcher, and he actually ran a pretty good fourth in the Risen Star, I thought. Consider all things considered, he was a massive price that day. He was over 30 to 1. Saez doesn't come. He gets Tyler. Tyler's not bad. I do like Tyler. He has been riding for Pletcher a little bit more. He's one that I am interested in him stretching out to beyond a mile and an eighth. He ran better than I thought he would at a mile and an eighth last time, and he's kind of like Kapuna, where I think he's just kind of that one pace horse, but his natural cruising speed is decent enough that I think he can hold on for. I think he can hold on for a piece. Pletcher has also been pretty cold on this Derby trail. And his big names have not been firing. Manuel didn't fire. Major General was bad. So we'll see if Pioneer Medina ends up being able to run good enough to get into the Kentucky Derby for Pletcher. Another one that I like underneath, I think he's going to make the pace a little bit more honest just because he's going to be close enough to the leader. That's kind of what he did last race to Epicenter, even though he didn't really pressure. He just sat second behind him, and he got passed late by two horses that a lot of people are high on, and Smile Happy and Zendon, but he wasn't falling apart late. So because of that, I honestly think this is a little bit weaker of a field than the Risen Star was. So I think he's going to be able to stay on. He's another one that I'm probably just going to key underneath. Uh, and Tyler's pretty good in spots like this as well. I trust Tyler to give this one a good trip. So Pioneer Medina, I bet you get every bit of that 5-1 on him. The number 8 is Galt, and he was part of that the Paco Lopez incident in the Fountain of Youth. And I get Mott bringing him back and bringing him back here. I don't know. I don't really think the horse wants to run on the front end like he was at Gulfstream. It's just kind of concerning. He ships him here. He got Rosario in the Fountain of Youth, and things just didn't go right at all with that Paco incident. But he gets Junior back, and I do like Junior, but he's not the jockey I want in a spot like this. He can be a pace presence. I have a feeling Junior is going to sit him off a little bit, especially breaking outside of Epicenter. I think he's going to try to stalk. I just don't know how good he is. I do like this horse a lot, though. I'd like to see him drop a little bit in class next time out because I don't think today's the spot. So I'm not going to use him. He's one of those horses that it's going to, if he drifts above 10-1, I might just throw a couple dollars to win on him because I'll kick myself if this horse beats me at a big price. Because I think once he drops in class and starts running against the non-derby contenders, he's going to be a pretty good one for that class level. And the number 9 is Rattle and Roll, who also was in the Fountain of Youth. And at first, because I saw he didn't finish well, in my opinion. It was his first race off a long layoff. And I get that they needed a race. And I thought at first he was caught up in the debacle that happened, turning for home. But on the replay, you watch Rattle and Roll actually gets a very clean trip, and it was not impacted by that whatsoever. He was just absolutely empty. So kind of strange, in my opinion, that they're shipping him here rather keeping him at Gulfstream where he's been working. I still don't like him here. If McPeak beats me here, he beats me here. I wasn't really big on this horse coming out of the Breeders' Futurity. That race is not coming back strong besides Classic Causeway. He ran like I thought he would last time in the Fountain of Youth, and I am going to hold that he is just not as good. I think he takes money here, which is good for some of the other underneath horses that I do like because I think I think he'll get bet down probably to like 4-1, 5-1, and be threatening for that coast second choice with Zozos. And I just don't think he's that good. So I'm going to toss Rattle and Roll, and I'm going to hope that some of these others that I mentioned are just a little bit better than him. But at the end of the day, I'm going to stick with the chalk here. I think Epicenter just has too much going for him. He's been improving every race. He gets the best jockey again, and not only do I think he could take this group gate the wire, but if he can't, and for some reason Zozos gets the lead, I don't know if Zozos really wants to go beyond a mile and an eighth. He's sired by Munnings. Munnings is not known for routing. So the mile and 3/16 might do Zozos in a little bit. And if Epicenter can rate, like, I think he's just going to have a field day here. So my top three in order are going to be 6, 2, and 7. Those are my top three. Probably going to be close to the at least with Zozos and Epicenter. Probably second and maybe fourth choice. So gonna have to play it straight probably to make a little bit of money, especially with Epicenter on top. But that's what happens when the best horse has to run, just keeps running. Is that you have sometimes if you want to play it, you have to eat the chalk. So good luck this weekend, everyone. Again, I will be back. They still got a few more 100-point preps, and best of luck.